and welcome back to Making Sawdust. I just finished these racks for my Irwin bar clamps, but I've got a lot more to make, so let's get to it. My clamp storage has become a little bit of a mess. Plus I want to rebuild this cart so that it's solely for dimensional lumber and sheet goods. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube about building clamp racks, but I couldn't decide on any one design because I don't know how many clamps I'm going to have in the future. So I decided to build a lot of smaller racks and screw them up on the wall next to each other, or wherever is convenient, because two walls of my shop are sheathed in plywood. Let me show you the design I put together to hold these Bessie clamps. It's pretty basic. It's 7 inches wide by 5 1/4 deep, which will allow me to nail down into another piece of plywood that'll attach the rack to the wall. I allowed for 1 inch of width for each clamp, as well as 3/4 of an inch in between the clamps and 3/8 of an inch on either end. The bar of the clamp is 1/4 inch wide, so I found the center of each inch and went 1/8 of an inch to either side. When I cut these lines out on the bandsaw, I'll be sure to cut wide so that the clamp can go in and out easily. A good trick before using a drill press is to go ahead and make an indentation exactly where you want the center of the drill bit to go. You can use an awl, a nail, or, in this case, a drywall screw. Just give it a little tap, and I guarantee the drill bit will go right there. But before we can cut these grooves, I need to cut this piece of plywood out using my circular saw guide that I built last week, as well as the miter saw. I'm cutting out the piece 5 1/4 inches wide that will receive the notches to hold the clamps. And now I'm cutting out a piece 4 1/2 inches wide that will hold the whole thing to the wall. I recommend pre-drilling through the plate that's going to attach the clamp rack to the wall. And then glue it . Clamp it, checking for squareness, and pop a few brads in it. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for these Bessie clamps. I've got one more I need to make for them, and then several racks I need to make for spring clamps. If you stay tuned after the credits, I'll give you a quick look at how it all turned out. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll get back to you. As always, get out there and make some sawdust. Well, as you can see, I kept the same basic design, But instead of putting notches in, I glued a piece of wood on underneath, then allowed the clamps to attach to that. Have a great weekend! Well, that just about... Well,